Mac.com, and I have this is going to be a great live on a conversation that I have with people day in, day out, women in my community, my clients. And this is the conversation of, should I include that about me in my content, or is it too much, or is it too weird? Um, will people judge me? Will it make people not like me? And I want to share with you how I've been through that insecurity learning curve with sharing who I am and my work online, and continue to go through. Um, and with the main message that when that comes up, when that thought comes up of like, oh, should I include this? Is it relevant? Is it unprofessional? Is it weird? The answer is yes. The answer is always yes, because those things that we most judge about ourselves are often the things that people most need to see about us, because they love that about us, and we love to see all of the uniqueness in people when they're showing up and sharing their work. So, and those are the pieces that really create connection for the people that are the best fit to work with you. So um I definitely went through that, of going through, particularly because I have quite a silly personality, and that's not something that I always show when I'm selling my work, or when I'm working more, when I'm working with clients. They get to see that other side of me, because there is this narrative that's so entrenched in us that you can't be silly and be good at business. You can't just be having fun and playing and be making serious money and making a big impact and succeeding. And this is something that I've really wrestled with for a long time, and it's definitely shown up in the way that I've created content. And I've definitely resisted following through on certain inspired ideas, just because that like unconscious thing keeps shutting it down, and doubting and fearing, like, what if I'm all of myself, and what if I show that, and then my business comes crashing down. Right? So I want to share a few pieces from my own journey that really disprove that, and hopefully with the intention of making it feel safe for you to be all of you in your business and in your content, and trust that when we do that, actually we expand, and actually we're capable of receiving more. So, and I really started to see the clues of this. Obviously, I started showing up more as myself as I was going deeper into doing more mindset work, and really owning my worth and my value, and really giving myself full permission to be me, and that knowing that that was enough. And I would start to see, the clients that would come in would really resonate with certain things that I'd been sharing that had nothing to do with my content, my mission, my impact, and my business. Like the fact that I have cats and I make silly cat videos on Instagram, I've attracted people who like really resonated with that. And other than those specific things that I've shared about myself, I also would see that the more I just gave myself permission to be me internally, the more people would resonate and start to show up and hire me and be the types of clients that resonated with me and had so many things in common with me on many other levels that we never even spoke about before I hired them. So it just, when you give yourself that internal permission and you release that judgment internally, it naturally starts to show up in the way that you're embodying your message, and the way that you are coming across to people and resonating with people and connecting with people. And there are a few other examples, like one client I was speaking to lately said that she loved, like, she wanted to work with me because she saw that I was reading scripts on my Facebook Live, which I do sometimes. And she was like, oh, I saw that you were doing that and it was working for you, and it's okay. And that you don't have to be perfect, and you can still create epic results in your coaching business. And then she hired me, and that gave her permission to go and relaunch one of her programs imperfectly, and she 7 times her income, 7 times her revenue on that launch. So, it just goes to show you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to, be XYZ, a certain prescription of what you need to be successful. All you need to be is yourself. And actually, the more you are yourself, the more you succeed. Um, Another example is that I love typos. I celebrate typos. Whenever I see an entrepreneur making typos, I celebrate them because I'm like, this person had better things to do with their life than read through their post 5 times, judging it and like looking for errors and trying to make it more perfect. And and I've seen like over and over, people are able to make millions of dollars with sales copy that's filled with typos. Typos don't really make that much of a difference in terms of when it comes to you making an impact and you making money. And I feel like that's a super empowering message because I work with a lot of clients who English is their second language, and don't try and be perfect in your second language. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you have the power to communicate your message, like with whatever skills you're able to at this moment, it is enough. We do not need to be perfect. We do not need to put in that additional 80% of effort to bring it up a higher 20% of perfection. Another example of me really giving myself permission to do what feels good in my business and my content is launching my podcast. So, that didn't come from a strategic decision of I'll be able to reach more people, I'll be able to attract more clients and make more money in my business. It came from an inspired idea of, oh, like, I love interviewing other entrepreneurs. I love having these conversations. I think it's super valuable. I really enjoy it, and it creates a ton of value for my audience and also is valuable to the people that I get on my podcast as well. And it's those types of decisions that when it comes as an inspiration, it's been very easy to follow through on that. Like, it's been very smooth and streamlined. It takes me like 45 minutes a week to produce my podcast episode, and my team takes care of the publishing, and it's super streamlined. It's really fun. And I'm not, seeing a direct increase in income because of my podcast, but it created a huge energy shift in my business when I gave myself permission to follow that, because it was fun for me and because I was feeling called to do it. And it's a space where I'm not, actively selling in my podcast. So I really get to be myself. There's no pressure. It really is just fun, and to create valuable content and share valuable conversations with my audience and the audience of my guests. And I've had so much great feedback from people who are listening to the podcast. Like, it's not crazy numbers, but the same time that I launched that podcast, it shifted my energy in my business, which shifted the way that I was showing up in my offers and my selling and my launches. And I have been making more money. So it's not because people are watching the podcast or I don't know, I'm not tracking that. Most of the people who have given me good feedback about my podcast aren't even my clients. But it's through giving myself permission to embody more of the things that are fun for me and to give myself more permission to be myself in my business, then that has shifted my energy, which has shifted the amount of money that I'm making. So all this to say is, when you catch yourself to start judging or start trying to turn something into a strategy that's directly going to make you money, and you're trying to control, and you're like doubting or criticizing an inspired idea for something that you are feeling called to share, catch yourself and be like, oh, like, this is one of those instances where I'm judging myself. And I know that when I feel particularly insecure about something, or I feel like this isn't going to fit into my vision of like what business should be, to really lean into it and to trust that there's going to be some magic there for you when you take a risk and you experiment and you really follow those intuitive desires. Like, if something about you has come up to share it, and the more you start to follow those impulses, the more that starts to become your way of operating in your business, the more you start to see how those are the things that really pay off. Those are the things that really speak to people. And those are the things that attract the people that most resonate with who you are and really receive your work on a deep level and get amazing results when they work with you as a client. Because in you giving yourself permission to be all of you, you are then able to do that for your clients as well. And oh my God, it makes business so much easier than if we're, trying to manipulate and control, trying to fit into an idea of what we think success is, either by doing it like somebody else who is succeeding that we look up to and admire and feel like we need to be the same as in order to create those results. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And if anything that creates that's kind of restriction and self-judgment, you're basically cutting off your energy. And the more we start to say yes, the more our energy expands, the more magnetic we become, the more just fluid those types of activities become, and you're able to follow through on them and execute them in a much more powerful and fun ways. So this is really the mindset stuff that comes up as we're sharing our message, particularly as we're selling, particularly as we're asking for more money and raising our rates and, going for bigger goals, like hitting those 5-figure months. And the tendency is, if we're going for a bigger goal, then we have to restrict and push harder. And actually, it's the complete opposite. The more, and I've really seen this for myself, the more I give myself permission to follow through on what's fun for me, not only in my business, but in everything that I'm doing in my life, the more relaxed I become, the less constriction there is, the more I'm open to be able to receive clients coming out of nowhere, super amazing, perfect fit, super aligned clients that then create really epic results because of that match, because of that energetic match. The more easily those big goals start to come in. So if this conversation is speaking to you, Freedom Club is my 6-month mastermind style group program where we are really going deep into this conversation. I'm there day in, day out to have this conversation with you in the Boxer chat, the group Boxer chat, like what's coming up, what's feeling good, what's feeling restricted, where am I judging my process, where am I doubting that this is going to be possible, where am I not following through on my aligned action plan, and to just be really supporting you to move through those moments of constriction that tend to cut off the flow when actually we're starting to build really amazing momentum. Already just within a few weeks, the women that are in there are starting to magnetize tons of interest, opportunities, new clients, some of them without even having started putting out marketing based on what they're learning in the program. So if this is speaking to you, please send me a message to chat if this is a good fit for you. I also have spots open in my one-on-one private mentorship, which is all access to me in your business. Like, you get top priority in terms of the feedback that you're getting on everything that you're doing, the support with everything that's coming up for you. You get access to all of my programs, my Tell Stories That Sell, which is all the strategy for messaging, clarity on your messaging and content strategy, your aligned marketing strategy that is fun for you, that feels accessible to you based on your unique skills, what you enjoy doing, how you enjoy sharing your message, and where you enjoy showing up. Because it gets to be fun. Business gets to be fun all the way. Thank you so much for watching. Please send some hearts and some likes if you've enjoyed this live today, and send me a message to apply for Freedom Club or my one-on-one private mentorship. Bye.